What up, Wichita? Welcome to the Wichita Dinner Table. Tonight is episode 60, and it's Wednesday, September 17th. We have the whole cast back. We have DJ Carbon.
What is good, ICT? Coming at you from Tulsa at the Gathering Place. Amazing day.
I'm kind of jealous. We got Troy Trussell with Live Local.
What up, Wichita?
We have Annette Lawless.
Good evening, guys. Hello.
And we have everyone's favorite co-host, the Kansas Gastronomist.
Sometimes I wonder if I wasn't given that moniker because I'm definitely not.
Oh, come on.
I mean, we all
Is that
know
what you
it's
wonder?
Annette.
Is that really what you
Yeah.
wonder?
No.
I wonder a lot of things. That's one of them. That's one of them.
And I'm your host, Eddie. I'm a little under the weather today, so I'm gonna limit as much as I talk, which is probably a benefit for everyone at home. But before we begin, I want to give a big round of applause to Annette, who launched her new show on KWCH Kansas Now.
Hey,
you.
congrats.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
I was
It's
ill
very
in
cool.
bed on Monday morning, and so I was able to watch the launch. So it was great. All
Yeah.
things Kansas. How are you
Yeah.
feeling, Annette?
Pretty good. I love the idea. It's something we've had in mind for the past several months of what can we do to bring people news that they actually want to watch, because I hear people online, I get you, sometimes talking about politics or talking about national stuff is too much, and so we're like, what if we just focus on Kansas? And that was our goal, and I think it turned out great, and hopefully we can do it again for many, many, many days. So I invite anyone to watch. The cool part, you can watch it in the Wichita or Topeka TV markets at 9 o'clock in the morning every weekday. So yay.
Nice.
Yeah.
TKG, you'd be happy to hear that they did not announce a single birthday from a celebrity not in
Oh,
Kansas. So
we're
no,
not
that's-
doing that.
that's-
We're not doing that. So yeah.
Gosh darn it. That's my
know.
favorite part.
That's why he tunes in.
No Sydney
Oh,
Sweeney birthday for us. So sorry. If you follow him, you know. You know.
If you know, you know.
If
Yeah,
you
you
know,
know.
you know.
What I
Nice.
don't know is I don't know the upcoming events.
Man, tell you what, I
Oh,
got you covered
Carbon.
on the upcoming events, Eddie. Let me take care of this. You rest up. Now, what we've got, there's so much going on. So we've got now through the 20th is the Crave Culinary Festival at Mark Arts. It's 5 days food and drink event, combines culinary arts, workshops, tasting events, local food culture, all to benefit Mark Arts. I've been there. It's a great time. Highly recommend checking that out. September 18th through 20th, Thursday through Saturday, it's ICT Fest. This year's ICT Fest takes over at Kirby's, Norton's Brewing Company, and Midwest Drum and Percussion for 3 unforgettable days of music, art, and community. There's over 30 musical acts. Man, cannot recommend it enough.
Dang.
Have you guys been to
Wow.
ICT Fest ever? Have you ever?
I've never been.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't been either.
I know I've seen you guys
Is it
at the
awesome?
Crave, but yeah, no, ICT Fest you are going to find a new favorite local band. I will tell you that much. It's really cool. Really cool. There's a lot going on. Also
Nice.
coming up Saturday, September 20th, we have The Dinner Detective. It's North America's largest interactive true crime murder mystery dinner show. It's playing in Wichita, Kansas, so you could witness a hilarious mystery while you feast on a fantastic dinner. But beware, the culprit is hiding in plain sight somewhere in the room, and you might find yourself as a prime suspect before you know it. I know what that's like. I was once a prime suspect. I was actually the guilty suspect at a murder mystery. I think most of you guys figured out it was me, actually, in fact. Anyway.
What happens when you're the culprit?
Yeah.
Or the guilty party? What happens?
You are informed that you are. I didn't know I was the guilty party until the very end. So it was kind of an adventure.
But once they discover it, do they do anything to you?
You
No.
talking about the event you talking about the event you murdered me at, Carbon?
Yes, that one. That would be the one. Yes.
That was so much fun, man. We gotta do
Doing
that
the
again.
Lord's work. Oh my God.
It's good times. Great times. Also, Saturday, September 20th and Sunday, September 21st, it's the Wichita Flea Market at Century 2. Also on Saturday, the 20th, we've got at the Kansas Aviation Museum. It's the Holland Oz Truck Show. So join Don Houghton Dealerships as they host the area's largest all GMC truck show. There's show-stopping trucks along with all the historical planes that you have down there at the Kansas Aviation Museum. You shop from local vendors and food trucks and enter to win some exciting raffle prizes. Man, the Kansas Aviation Museum is a great time. It's always a great time, but even more so get to see some trucks going out there. And rounding out the weekend is Wichita's Margarita Fest at NAFSCA Park on Saturday from 6 to 10. Get ready to sip, savor, and celebrate, where local bartenders compete for the title of Best Margarita in the ICT. I don't know. Where do you guys think has the best house margarita? Where's the best margarita in town?
I'll tell you where a lot of my friends go.
Okay.
When it comes to tequila, I like to just have my tequila straight.
Okay.
Mexico Viejo. A lot of my friends frequent the place. It's over on West 21st Street, 21st and Ridge. There's dollar margaritas on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days, maybe Thursday. Who knows? But it is a packed house. Yes, Mexico Viejo gets packed on the weekends.
They do well. Yeah,
they do very well. A lot of friends, are big fans of that one. I actually had a pretty good margarita over at One Life Spirits Bar over at Central and Woodlawn.
Yes.
The El Primo Cafe space. Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent
I would agree. That's where I was going to go. They've got a great one.
TKG,
I like margaritas.
James Rye?
It's not my go-to drink for sure.
Have you had the margarita at James and Rye, TKG? I know you've had like a lot of the drinks there.
I can't get past the old fashioned, but maybe I should. Have you had it, Eddie?
I have not.
Okay.
When I go to James and Rye, I drink straight bourbon.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away.
You should try. Yeah, you should try the old fashioned though. I'd be willing to try the margarita, but I don't know. Margaritas just so often are just so sweet, or I mean, even a non-sweet margarita. Like once you've had a few, it really.
I mean, that's why on Saturday you go to NAFSCA Park Margarita Fest. You get them all in one fell swoop, so you know which ones you like.
Yeah,
that's fun
great
and dangerous.
When I used to drink, I'd drink one margarita and then it would just turn into tequila.
Yeah,
and it was just tequila shots.
It's a gateway. So. It's a gateway for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, the same, right? About tequila. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4
more.
I say floor.
Floor. Yeah.
Well, not me personally, but floor.
Yeah. All right. Enough tequila. Also, one last thing, we got to make sure you get it on your calendars. October 16th through 19th is the Tallgrass Film Association. Brings us to.
And for our guest today, we've got Sierra Franklin-Morton with Tallgrass Film Festival, and I'm so pumped that you're here today because I absolutely love Tallgrass Film Festival. So, Sierra, happy to have you here.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm also excited because you guys are my very first podcast ever. I'm a big pod listener, and I've always been like, I can't wait to be on a podcast. And it's so neat that my first one is like a hometown one, so it makes me feel even better.
So, Sierra, you mentioned hometown, and I was just kind of curious, how did you end up being on the dinner table talking about Tallgrass? And I don't mean being on the dinner table per se, but really, how did you end up here? What's your background? Where do you come from? Are you from Wichita? How did you get into movies and independent films? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've always kind of grown up in a very film-centered household, which is really neat. Like, we would always just watch movies together, go out to movies, and it's always just been kind of like a normal thing for us to do. But as far as my background, I'm born and raised here in Wichita, lived here all of my years of my life, except for 4 years, lived in Lawrence for a little bit, Rock Chalk, love it up there. But one thing that was important for me, because I studied theater performance and stuff like that, was everyone else was going to Kansas City, going to Chicago, going to all these other places, LA, New York. And I saw something kind of bubbling and happening here where I was like, I really think I should go back home. Like, there's some value for me to be back in Wichita, so let me just go back and see what that's like. So I came back home, worked at Interest Bank Arena for a little bit, doing ticketing and marketing over there. And then I did the same thing over at the Orpheum, some ticketing, some marketing, worked on the film series over there, which is really neat and fun because if you guys have not heard about their selection process for their film series, it is like months and months of like deliberations and arguments and this is my movie I'm going to fight for. Like it's intense, but it's fun. And so getting into that was really neat. And being there at the Orpheum, we would always like work with Tallgrass, and Tallgrass would have screenings there. And the neat thing about my position being marketing and ticketing at the Orpheum during Tallgrass is Tallgrass does all of their own ticketing. So that means I was off of work during the festival, which means I got to enjoy the festival. So I got to attend Tallgrass for those years, and being someone that's from here and like knowing that Tallgrass has been around since like the early 2000s, I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me that this existed? Like, I would have loved to have gone to the film festival like as a teenager and kind of see what was going on and kind of want to get involved, but there's no better time than right now. And so I saw the position open up for assistant director, and ticketing and marketing was kind of my life, but films and pop culture and media is more of my like, my niche, my go-to, it's my heart. And being a part of, Tallgrass and kind of ushering us into close to 25, it's kind of scary to think about that, but it's really cool and neat because I think of it as like a Wichita institution. I know a lot of people, still haven't heard about us, but it's kind of a growing Wichita thing. And for me to be able to be at the helm of it and kind of bring the Wichita back into it, try to encourage more Wichitans to experience us, because I know for some people they see film festival as like a barrier and like, oh, it's too niche, too exclusive, and like I'm not going to be able to make it in. But I think my goal right now is just to try to bring more people in and try to make us more Wichita oriented. So that's what I'm excited about this year.
So I know folks that watch the dinner table know my testimonial about it, which I think it's one of the coolest events, the film festival that happens in Wichita. It's so badass. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. But a lot of people don't know what it is, and I just described it as badass. But can you give our viewers a little bit more information other than the fact that it's badass? What is Tallgrass Film Festival? How long does it happen? What are the locations? Give us some background.
Yeah, so I mean, I would echo your sentiment that it is pretty badass. I will say that.
Amen.
Like, I can't tell you how cool it is. Like, I went to Sundance this January in Park City, Utah, and people saw my badge and they saw Tallgrass, and their eyes lit up. Like, these are people from LA. I had someone from like, Europe. They saw Tallgrass and they're like, oh, that's the Kansas one, right? That's the one in Wichita. And like, word is spreading around about how cool this festival actually is. And I think the cool thing about it is we have such a cool, like, dedicated staff. A lot of them have been around since the very start of it. And they all really take it to heart that, they wanted to see it go and keep going and not kind of fade away. So each year we try to, I don't want to say like push the envelope, but we try to do something every year that's a little bit more than we've done in the past, which is really neat and cool. And a lot of that, I know people say, oh, I love the parties, which parties are the fun part. I know it's my favorite part to plan, but the movies are really where it's at. And so this year, I think it's really neat because we're kind of going back to our roots. If people were around for like the OG start of Tallgrass, they would know that our first few screenings of the first few years were held formally at the Old Town Warren, which was really neat, really cool. Everyone could all see movies in one spot. We are actually going back to that this year, which I'm very excited about with our partnership with Boulevard Theaters, which is going to be really neat and cool. And then our VIP lounge is going to be in City Arts. And this year, what we're going to try to do is kind of keep everything kind of Old Town centered. So a lot of our like pop-ups and parties and things like that will be contained in the Old Town area, because I don't know about you guys, but like I love Delano, I love downtown Wichita, but like I feel like we got to push, Old Town up just a little bit more, like there's so much to do. There's much, new businesses, there's new opportunities in Old Town, and just kind of seeing that kind of bubble and bringing in people from out of town to kind of experience Old Town is something neat that I'm excited to do. But one thing that people love the most about our festivals, besides the parties, are our movies. And we have a lot of really cool, I think over the past few years, our Kansas category has just been really hard to pick and choose, because not only are we getting great filmmakers from within the state, but it also extends itself to, we've had some feature films made from like big companies where they're based in Wichita or based in Kansas, and they have someone on the crew or a director or producer where they have Kansas roots and Kansas ties. And like, it's really exciting to see that kind of grow. But one thing I also hear about that is people are like, well, we want to come film in Wichita too. So a little plug, we need film incentives, and we need them now so people can film in Wichita and elsewhere.
Yeah.
There was I'm blanking on his name. Is it Groves? He was the director of a film about the Wichita. God Save the Wings, maybe? Is that what it was called? God Save the Wings, about the Wichita Wings?
I saw that when I was at the Orpheum. That movie was awesome.
Yeah. So there's some. I remember early on the probably the first, or maybe this is the second time I went to Tallgrass Film Festival. I went to a film, and of course for our viewers, the thing is you go to this event and there's a film being shown, let's say at 1 o'clock at this location, and a film being shown at 1:15 at this other location. And so I had some friends that wanted to say go to the 1:15. I didn't want to go to the 1:15, so I decided to go to the one. And I'm the only one that went to this 1 o'clock showing. And I forget the name of the film, but it was about a African American black kid. I believe it was inner city Chicago, and they had followed it was like filmed him at the age of 7, and then they went back and filmed him, I believe, at the age of 14, and then went
Oh,
back and filmed him at like the age of 21,
oh my
and
gosh.
his life. And it was so eye-opening, and it's one of those moments that I reflect on. I think it's informative, and there's no way in hell I would have watched this film but for Tallgrass Film Festival and being in that situation, and it was so worth it. And that's why I love Tallgrass Film Festival.
Yeah, like we
I
love to be able to like highlight and uplift like different voices, different cultures, different perspectives that your average Kansan wouldn't be able to see. Like one film I want to shout out is we have a film called 25 Caps and Cutter, and it's a woman who is from I believe like Minneapolis or somewhere in the Great Lakes region, and she hears about like the over cat population in Qatar and like in Qatar and how there's just cats everywhere, and there's so many like rescues, and people want to be able to like help the cats, but the rescues are overwhelmed and people want to take them in, but there's only so many they can take in. But this woman from the United States is like, let me go over there and just grab 25 cats off your hands and bring them back to the United States. Now, where in Kansas would I have heard that story? I don't know. Probably on some random news clip somewhere you see a little ad where it's like, woman takes 25 cats from Middle East and brings them
Mm-hmm.
over to the United States. But seeing that whole process, and like there's other films I've seen at Tallgrass where I'm like, I don't think I would have heard that if I would have just gone to your average, big box movie theater or, looked somewhere online. And I think that's something we take pride in, is trying to find those like unique stories that aren't like we have our uniquely Kansan stories, but the other worldviews and stories that you wouldn't necessarily hear, within our, average everyday conversations. But it's just cool to open ourselves up to new perspectives.
Well,
And in addition to the movies, you guys also provide a very unique experience where, I mean, being a part of a Q&A with cast members, directors,
Mm-hmm.
and any number of people associated with the films, it makes it such a different experience. I've relished. I've been a part of. I got to be a part of Tallgrass for 8 or 9 years in a row and DJed in the VIP. We had a blast, but the being a part of the audience with these special accesses to the people that are behind the films, it's just something that you don't get. And I didn't know what to expect. I think I expected less than what it was, and when it came through, it makes it a completely different experience. The movie going experience changes after you partake in something through Tallgrass Film Festival and see what that whole thing feels like. I can't recommend it enough. If you're a movie buff and you have not yet been, I don't know what you're doing wrong.
so
And then
Sierra, can
also,
you
if you have a
tell?
tall pass, like you never know who you're going to sit next to when you're at the VIP lounge. Because I've been having lunch at the VIP lounge in my early days, working at the Orpheum, and I'm sitting next to a director that has like so many films out, and they're just asking me about my day, and I'm like, I want to ask you about your day and not be weird. And you can't get those opportunities anywhere else but at our festival, which I think is really cool.
So, Sierra, can you tell us and remind us and tell the viewers what are the details? When is Tallgrass Film Festival? How do we get tickets? What are the ticket options, and whatever else is important for everyone to know?
Yeah, so this year we're going to be October 16th through the 19th. A majority of our films will be housed at the Boulevard Theaters, which is in Old Town, formerly the Old Town Warren, but Boulevard Theaters, Old Town. But we will have some select screenings also being held at the Mary Jane Teal Theater at Century 2 as well. And those will be some of our gala films. So every night we have one gala or like showcase film that we think is either out of competition, where it's something that we may have seen at another festival where we're like, this is something the Wichita audience would really like. And so we like to highlight and uplift those films. And so we'll have a couple of those over at Century 2 at Mary Jane Field, which would be really neat and really cool. And then also, if you're not able to attend in person, we do have virtual spots as well. And virtual will be open, I believe, on the 20th of October. And it's not the full selection of films. We'll give you just a little bite size of it because we really want to entice people to come to Wichita and come to the festival. And so we'll give you just a little bit of a sneak peek. I think we'll have like a Kansas film showcase because we always love to highlight and give more, boost to our Kansas filmmakers, writers, and producers. And so that's one option as well. But everything will be mainly in the Old Town area. Our parties this year, because I know that's the topic everybody loves to hear about. We have some really weird, funky themes. Like our first one is going to be our opening reception at XY, and it'll be tied to our first gala film called It's Dorothy. And that film, because, I'm, born and raised Kansas, soft spot for The Wizard of Oz. But this is about every single kind of interpretation of Dorothy Gale that people could think of from, the first, iteration of her in the Frank L. Baum book to, we have Ariana Grande and Wicked and everything else in between. And so that's one party. We also have a weird science party because if you guys have seen like our logo for this year, our tagline is cinema is in our DNA because it's our 23rd year. And that whenever I think 23, my brain automatically goes to advertising, this 23andMe, DNA. And so our new logo for this year, it is actually a DNA strip made of film. So it's like a film reel, but made out of a DNA strip. And so with that, we're really tying into the science theme. And so one of our parties is going to be Weird Science, which is going to be really neat and cool. And then we're also going to have a Blizzard of Oz party, which I'm excited. So just get your ideas thinking of that. It's literally a Blizzard of Oz. So anything Oz, whether it's Ozzy Osbourne, whether it's Australia, whether it's I even threw out the HBO show Oz. I was like, we could have like a prison set up and have Oz and be a part of our Blizzard of Oz party. But like I always said, Tallgrass is very weird and unique parties. And then our last party will be a gene pool party. So we're going to let your, imagination flow on what that's going to be. But that one's going to be at the Brickyard, which I'm excited about because we will be taking gently used, new, donated jeans from folks. We're asking all of our filmmakers to bring in jeans. And we're going to have these little kiddie pools out there, and people can just dump their not wanted jeans into these kiddie pools, and we'll donate those to a local organization after the festival's over. So our parties do, get you to do some fun, but we're going to do good at our parties this year as well. So lots of fun, weird, funky things happening because that's Tallgrass's DNA. That's what we do.
Hey, Sierra.
And so the going to the parties, and correct me if I'm wrong, in order to attend the parties, you have to have a tall pass. Can you talk about the ticket options?
Yeah, so the tall pass is literally your like all access pass to anything and everything. You get to go to the VIP lounge, which this year will be hosted in City Arts, and we'll have, some unique tasting opportunities. We'll have some unique local food offerings and things like that in there. Like I said earlier, you could be sitting at a table with someone that's worked with, Spike Lee or someone else, and you just don't know until you have a conversation with them in the VIP lounge. And so those are going to be our most expensive one, but you get all access to everything, and that's why it's kind of more bang for your buck. And you get to go to the parties. Who doesn't want to do that? For the people that aren't quite party centered, we do have a film pass. So I know a few people that they don't really care about the parties. They just want to see every single movie under the sun. So we have film passes. We also have some unique offerings of passes. We have a 5-ticket pass and a 10-ticket pass, or maybe you can't commit to the whole 4 days, but maybe you can do some movies here and there. And then one thing that I don't think is highlighted enough is anybody can go to Tallgrass. You do not need a tall pass to go to the festival. You can just walk up to the boulevard and buy a ticket to It's Dorothy because you really love The Wizard of Oz, and nobody's going to turn you away. You can just walk up and pick your movies, get individual tickets, and that's something I really want to push out to Wichitans because, I don't want the tall pass to be a barrier for people. Yes, it would be nice if you had a tall pass, but I understand, the economy, people's schedules, life is kind of tough right now. And if we could at least offer, a bit of escapism to have you come and watch a movie at the Boulevard where you don't have to think about everything happening in the world, why not push that out and get more people excited? And so please, please, please buy single tickets, which those are available right now because our full schedule is out. So see some films you want. Maybe if there's 5, buy a 5-ticket pass, or maybe there's 3, just buy those 3 that you like. We want to make sure that we're not putting barriers on people to come to our festival because it's really open to everybody. It's our love letter to Wichita. We want to be able to welcome everyone in.
Hey, Sierra,
And
quick question for you. Sorry, TKG. So while you're chatting, I had to go online and look at your profile on the Tallgrass Film Festival site. So I have a few questions for you. I want to see if they match what your answers were on the website. Okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Favorite films?
Oh, what did I say?
Do you remember what your answer was?
How long ago were these asked?
These were last year, actually. I don't think they've changed.
But
I love Crooklyn. Crooklyn is one of my favorites of all time.
That was on the list.
I got to show that this year, and I've been trying to show that movie in Wichita for years, and I finally got to show it. I was so excited. I love Crooklyn. I love Tu Wong Fu. That's one of my favorite films.
Number 2 on there. You had one
what
more.
Was my third one?
Hey, that's pretty good though, because I think
was it Clueless or Night at the Roxbury?
No, it's not. This was more. It was a.
Give her a hint.
It was a romance film.
Ooh, I love way too many romance films. I'm like, which one did I say?
Yeah, give her 2 hints, Eddie.
Okay, written by a very, very famous person.
Oh, did I say Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet?
You did. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's my movie. I love that one.
Same.
Okay,
awesome.
Well, Sierra, I have actually never been to the Tallgrass Film Festival, so
wow,
I am going to stop by.
Year.
I have to.
I'll drag him.
TKG owes me some bets. So what's going to happen is, if I don't make it, all bets that he's ever made with me get canceled, and he's wiped clean. His slate is clean with me, and I don't like losing bets. So I'm gonna make it out. I've been actually looking at the film list, so there's some that caught my eye. So
cool.
I will, I will report back. If I don't, then TKG can hang as much crap on me as he'd like.
Oh, that sounds
I would love
wonderful.
to see a blog post on a party. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would love to see a Wichita Bay EB Tallgrass party review, just so everyone can see how weird and fun they are.
There should never be a blog post about me partying anywhere. That's what happens. That's what happens when I party. That's the exact same situation. It could have came at a better time.
We'll do it before you get too into the party.
Okay.
Your blog post, and then go wild.
All right. Well, Sierra, we appreciate the time, and we'll see you here in about a month's time.
Yeah, I hope to see everyone there. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Sierra.
Take care, Sierra.
Bye.
And we're back. So, Tallgrass Film Association, TKG, I'm assuming you're going to make it there.
I will definitely make it. I don't know if I'm going to go all in and get the tall pass and be there for all the days, but I will if I'm able to. Like, it's worth doing that, but I will absolutely go to something.
Okay, so the deal is on. If I don't make it, you are allowed to blast me. I mean, you already do anyways.
I was going to say, what's holding him back?
You get free reign to do even more, maybe even cross the line a little more if I don't attend at least one film at the film festival.
If you don't go, you will be in one way, shape, or form part of the Stick and TKG's craw. No doubt.
Oh, boy.
I mean,
if you do not go.
I feel like I've been part of the craw at least, this is episode 60, at least 8 times.
So I'm busy most of the weekend, but I would love to link up with you guys on that Thursday. Go to the opening night gala for sure. I'd love to catch a flick with y'all.
Okay. All right. Speaking of sticks in the craw, TKG, what's up yours today?
Well, Eddie, I've lived in the second largest city in the U.S. and in a small rural town in Kansas of less than 10,000. I've lived in a country outside of the U.S. with a strong man in charge. And I've lived in a European country that's a parliamentary republic. I have had straight friends, gay friends, black friends, white friends, brown friends, undocumented friends, doctor friends, lawyer friends, blue-collar friends, farmer friends, trans friends, vegan friends, old friends, young friends, religious friends of all kinds, and atheist friends. I've lived in rentals where we couldn't afford the small rent and lived in a multi-million-dollar mansion. I've been a Republican, I've been a Democrat, I've been an independent. I know elected Republicans and Democrats, and yes, they all ask me for money. By the way, they know me, but not me. And I have personally been to and blogged about more than 110 of the cities in Kansas. Some of them are blue dots, some of them are purple dots, some of them are red dots. I use quotes because they're not really blue, purple, or red, in my opinion. We're just people. And in all of these places, they are loaded with so many good people. So many places, actually every single place I have ever been, where people put aside their differences of opinion or politics to work together, play together, live together, and make their community better. Every single place. So what's in my craw? Those that have forgotten the words of Patrick Henry during his last public speech in 1799. Just 2 short months before his passing, he said, "United we stand, divided we fall. Let us not split into factions which must destroy that union upon which our existence hangs." Back to you, Eddie.
And that's quite uplifting this evening, TKG. You've turned a new corner.
It felt like the right thing to do this week.
No, it's
Yeah.
good.
Really heavy
been
environment.
a tough couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to read that Sunday night TKG, and it was good.
Powerful.
It was good to hear.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
people, man. We're just people.
Exactly.
Amen.
Here we go. What else is good in Wichita? It's time to come with something heartwarming they've seen. So these are shout outs. I will begin. We mentioned it earlier, but I want to give a shout out to Annette. I think we've seen you over the last year on this show, and just to see, where you've come and the trajectory you're on. I mean, you've just gone like this way ever since, everything that happened last year. So I think the community's rooting for you, still rooting for you. Happy to see you back on TV. Look forward. Kansas now is on my DVR recording schedule, so
Oh
I'll be tuning in for every episode.
Thank you. That's
TKG.
wonderful. Thanks, Eddie.
Well, Eddie stole my shout out because I was going to shout out Annette, but I feel like I can't do that. But here's what I will say to add to what Eddie said. I wrote down tenacity, determination, and grace. And the reason I wrote that down is because Annette, I know there's things you can't talk about and or maybe don't want to, but the point being is that a lot of people could have just said, screw it, I'm going to go do something else, whatever. You were tenacious and determined and handled your situation with grace. And to me, that is why you deserve a shout out.
Thank you.
All right. Troy.
Yeah. Y'all stole my. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Annette,
He's going to talk about
awesome.
cinnamon rolls again.
You are awesome, Annette. But,
Thank you. Back at you,
buddy.
Yeah.
It's been a heavy couple of weeks, and I had to take a break from social media for a couple of days this past week. But just a shout out to all those people that haven't gotten online and shared their negative, nasty opinions. Like, there's been a lot of good things come out online through all the tragic things that have happened over the past couple of weeks. And just a shout out to those people that have held back some of the things that they wanted to say and didn't do it because it's just been it was so toxic there for a while, and it still is. But you can find the good in things, and you can find the good in social media, and it can be a place where people can come together whenever so many people get on there and try to tear each other apart. And that's not a place for it. That's where we need to be coming together, like the stick in the crawl. Like, we're all just human. So let's try to come together instead of tear each other apart. And a lot of people are doing that. So shout out to the people that are online trying to come together, trying to start a conversation with each other. So there you go.
Awesome. Carbon.
I just got to give a shout out to my daughter. Older, but still not too old to have a good time with dad. So we get to have these awesome adventures. Come down to Oklahoma. She wanted to see Tulsa Theater's production of Hairspray because it's her favorite musical. I said, game on. So we drove down on Sunday, caught the matinee. We're here at the Gathering Place. We went to a board game cafe. It's something special that she's not too cool, and I still get a pass and get to hang out with her, and still get to do photo walks through this amazing place and all kinds of fun stuff. So very fulfilling weekend on a personal note. Probably, like you guys were talking about all the heavy stuff, even that much more needed to check out from online and just enjoy some personal time. And it's been an amazing weekend. So shout out to my baby girl. That's who's my shout outs for.
From one girl dad to another, I love that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Annette, bring us home.
Yeah, I am so grateful this past week, being at the Kansas State Fair, bumping into so many people who, like you all talked about, this past year has been kind of all the things really, but it was so nice to catch up with folks. And I had two people that I met during that time. One was a girl who years ago online, I created this like initiative where I asked people every day for a year, I would write a letter to whomever, like a little note, a little thank you, or a little greeting card or whatever to anybody. I was like, just give me your address and I'll send something. And there was a girl who I sent a letter to probably like 7 years ago or something. And she came up to the booth with her mom. And I was just, oh my gosh, it just gave me chills just seeing her and being like, oh my, I remember, sending her that note and everything. And it was so cool to see that and to catch up with people. But then other people, like there's this one lady, her name's Anita, and she's, with her family in her wheelchair rolling up. And we just had the best time catching up. And it was kind of bizarre signing autographs and meeting people in a different capacity than I've ever had before. But it was just such just a heartwarming and very just like I've finally, got to this moment, but I got to share it with so many great people. And the fair was fun and delicious and amazing. But those memories are ones that I loved it. It was so great. So I'm so grateful.
Okay. Well, the dogs are barking. It means it's time to end the show.
Time's up.
Time to go back to bed. Yeah.
That's my fault.
Yeah. So Troy,
Yeah.
Carbon, TKG, Annette, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Everyone else at home, you've all been excused from the dinner table.